Okay, so have y'all seen the put a finger down challenge that's been going really viral on TikTok?
Put a finger down if you stayed after they cheated on you. Put a finger down if they lied to you multiple times and you forgave them. Put a finger down if you caught them doing something and they still tried lying even though the proof was there, but you ended up letting it slide.
It's like, put a finger down if you're this freaky. Put a finger down if you accidentally slept with my boyfriend. Put a finger down if you did some crazy stuff. It's like been really popular on TikTok. I'm scrolling, just not minding my business. I get down a rabbit hole as we always do together. And I'm like, oh, this is starting to get wild. They start being like, put a finger down if, and they start just saying, put a finger down. But they will go on to tell this whole story about just a whole lot of stuff happening. And while I'm working on the other videos, because I still got to do a review for us for Divorcing the Black, the Auntie podcast, I'm definitely going to do a review for us. I wanted to make sure I put something out for us today that would just be enjoyable, easy to listen to. So what's up, my friends, and welcome back once again to the Just Kaysen brand. I'm your homegirl, I'm your tia, I'm your prima, I'm your cousin, I'm your friend, I'm whatever you need me to be down here at the Just Kaysen brand. What we like to do over here in the Jaberhood is really create community. We like to create community, we like to talk about stuff, we like to politic together. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Comment your thoughts down below and like the video.
If you got invited to a club for a friend's birthday, but when you showed up, it was just 10 guys who had been doing mushrooms for the last 3.5 hours. So you decided to invite a girl that you'd recently met to come out to the club with you. And she was like, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun. I'm on my way. But an hour and a half goes by and she's still not there. When she finally shows up, like 30 minutes before the bar is gonna close, she shows up with another one of her girlfriends. And she's like, we're gonna go to the bar and get a couple shots and we'll meet you outside where the live music was. So you go outside and you're waiting, and about 20 minutes goes by and she's still not out there. And then the bouncer starts clearing everyone out of the bar. So you finally make it out to the parking lot and you kind of rendezvous with everyone. And you realize this girl you've invited has gone from sober to absolutely off her ass drunk. Like a level of inebriated that she could not have possibly achieved in 30 minutes. She can't even bring her eye line above like here. And you realize she got drugged. And her friend confirms that they only did 2 shots with a group of guys they met at the bar. And then her friend just leaves. So you and your soberest guy friend lean her up against the chain link fence outside of the club and have a little rendezvous about how to get this relative stranger home safely. As you're having this little powwow, you notice a group of guys approach her, and one of them starts to immediately get handsy with her. So you walk up and you're like, hey, this is my friend. He's clearly incapacitated right now, so I'm gonna need you to back off. And he immediately gets aggressive. So you back off to let your male friend handle it, which only makes the situation worse, because now the whole gang of guys is involved, getting in your friend's face about how she was flirting with him at the bar and they've been talking all night and she's going home with him. So you tell your friend, do not take your eyes off of her. I am gonna run and get security. You run back into the club and you're looking around for a bouncer, and for some reason you cannot find anyone. You grab one of the bartenders and you're like, I need security outside right now. There's a very sketchy situation going on. I need help. You go to walk back towards them across the parking lot. And as you're walking up, you see your guy friend here, 3 guys in his face, the girl leaning up against the post here, and creepy guy sliding his hand up her shirt. And you do some very quick, very drunk math, which is that if your male friend tries to physically intervene in any way, these 3 dudes are gonna kick his ass. But if you throw a punch as a woman, chances are he's not gonna hit you back. If he does hit you back, he's probably only gonna get 1 punch in before everybody around realizes a man just hit a woman. So with a confidence that you have never had before in your life, you walk right up to him, forgetting that you are wearing a stone-encrusted ring, and punch him in the face so hard, because you've never punched anyone, so you have no idea what amount of force to use, nor do you know your own strength. You break the bridge of his nose open right here. And his 3 friends just kind of stand there in shock for a second. He stands there in shock for a second. And then he whips out his phone to call the police on you for assault. And he's like, what's your full name? And you start to tell him your full name. And then you feel your friend's hand go. And you're like, please trust me. I was raised by attorneys. I actually know my shit here. And you look at creepy dude number 1, who's on the phone with the police, who could probably hear you in the background. And you're like, I'll give you my full name, but fun little piece of California law that you should probably know first. In the great state of California, you can claim self-defense in the place of a third party if that third party is incapacitated and unable to defend themselves. And if you call the cops, the first thing I'm gonna do is ask for a blood test. How much you wanna bet there's Rufinol in her system right now? And you're the creepy guy trying to take her home. And he stood there for a second, and then he hung up his phone, and then he ran down the street. And then the owner of the bar came out, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get banned from this club. And instead, she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. We need more women like you, standing up for women. Please stay on the property. So if cops come, I wanna make sure you're on private property. We can be witnesses. Because I guess she had come out for like the tail end of this exchange. And she was like, and you never have to wait in line here again. And that's how you ended up on the VIP list at one of LA's most prestigious clubs, even though you don't go to clubs anymore.
Put a finger.
Girl, why is she sitting up here lying? How you play the victim and the hero in the same damn story? How you even let this girl who's clearly inebriated beyond comprehension to where she can't even conversate except for let me go get a shot at the bar? How do you not just send her back home? How do you not just leave the club with her? Everything that she said in her story, I didn't like because it's like she's acting like she's so scared. Should I go and say anything to him? Oh God, I'm just a little girl. How will I ever? And then you get all of a sudden the confidence to go and knock them in their shit after they done fondled up your homegirl and did all this stuff, went outside, tried to fight your homeboy. Your homeboy scared of them. He's like, I'm about to get jumped. You're like, don't worry, Peter Pan. I'm here to save the day. Now all of a sudden you're a superhero. Girl, shut up. That's that suburban lifestyle. That's that you ain't never really been through the hood, to a trailer park, to a hood festivity. You ain't really been to nothing to know that you got to be on your P's and Q's as a woman and make sure you're not just drinking every single drink a man hands you. Make sure you're not just doing any type of joints or whatever with them outside of the club just because they want to do like, girl, there are so many red flags in your story. I just don't like it. I feel like, did this happen? Sure. Did you do all this stuff that you saying you did? No. And did the bar lady come out or the owner of the bar come out and be like, wow, Sarah, you have VIP for free because there needs to be more superheroes like you in this world. Girl, without you, we wouldn't have been safe tonight. Girl, shut up lying. Shut up lying. Say you went to the bar. It was you, some partners. Because why would you even go to a bar with 10 men? If it was me and one homegirl and I walk into a bar that's supposed to be co-ed and it's 10 men who are on shrooms, you think I'm about to walk my homegirl into there? Hell no. Well, I'm about to walk out. I'm about to be like, oh, what's up, Chuck? See, I didn't know you was about to have all your little homeboys, your little fraternity boys. I didn't know y'all was all going to be up in here. But anyway, I'm going to have to go ahead and get out of here. Me and my homegirl, we're going to go back to my house. No, we don't want to stay. We don't want to stay. We appreciate it because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't care how much a man is like, oh, just trust me. Don't worry about it. I got you. You'll be safe here. Yeah, I might know 2 or 3 of y'all, but I don't know the rest of them. So no, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And y'all on the shrooms. They say when y'all on shrooms, y'all be seeing elephants, lions, and stuff like that. You think we about to stay here? Hell no.
Down if 2 nights ago you went to the Tate McRae concert, but before you went to the Tate McRae concert, you and your friend want to pregame, so you decide on a place that's kind of close to the concert, and you're like, oh, let's try out Schwartz and Sandy's. We haven't been there yet. So go to Schwartz and Sandy's, which for those of you who don't know, Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval, they own it. They're from Vanderpump Rules. So you have a very light pregame with 3 tequila shots, 2 espresso martinis, and a vodka soda, and then Tom Schwartz himself comes around and you command that he takes a half shot with you. So he politely does. And then you're overhearing his conversation and you know that he's going to Jax's in Studio City afterwards to celebrate Jax's birthday party. Girl. So then you invite yourself and you ask him if he's going to go there. He says yes. And then you are like, oh my gosh, maybe after the show we'll see you. He politely says nice, thinking that you wouldn't actually show up. You get to the Tate McRae concert and you have seated tickets, but your liquid courage says, no, let's try to get to the front. So somehow you blink and then you're in the pit with everyone else, and Tate McRae is so close to you that she could spit on you if she wanted to. After the concert, you're like, let's go to Jax, and then you beeline to Jax's in Studio City. You're then greeted by Jax, Kristen Doty, and Brittany from Vanderpump Rules, and you command that Kristen and Brittany take a shot with you. So you take a shot, you take photos, which you don't typically ever do in general, especially with someone famous, but you end up with photos on your phone the next day. Brenda's probably talking to Tom Schwartz, you lose her, she's probably doing karaoke. Meanwhile, you're just being creepy in the corner because you're extremely intoxicated at this point. Eventually, you tell your friend that you lose your phone. So your friend is a good friend and tells every single person in that bar to look for your phone. And every single person in that bar was looking for your phone. And then you tell your friend, oh, it was just in my other hand this whole time. So your friend is understandably a little bit irritated. And
you've had enough.
She tells you that you need to go home.
Yeah.
And then you start verbally fighting with her because you don't want to go home. And then one thing leads to another,
But Kristen Doty, of all people, comes up to you and says, girl, it's time to go home. So because Kristen Doty encouraged you to go home, you politely accept and you exit the bar. Outside the bar, you and your friend get into an MMA-style fist fight.
What?
Because you do not want to go home at this point. Full-on fist fight. Once you're in the Uber, things settle down a little bit, but once your friend is trying to drop you off outside your apartment complex, you continue the MMA-style fight. And then you go up to a homeless person and tell the homeless person that your best friend, who's politely trying to take you back into your apartment, is a stalker and that she's following you and that she shouldn't be here. So this causes some havoc on the street, and a security guard who watches the street for like homeless people comes up to both of you and makes sure that you two are okay and that is actually your friend and that she's not a homeless stalker. Once you're up there, your friend leaves, but you decide to go on TikTok Live. Now, typically, your TikTok Lives only have about 4 people watching, 2 of which are your close personal friends. But for some reason, this TikTok Live had 300 viewers, and this entire time that you're on the live, you're answering fan questions, as well as doing karaoke and taking requests, such as Chappell Roan songs and Morgan Wallen. And then the next day, you wake up with a bunch of bruises, not knowing if your best friend is still going to talk to you.
Put a finger down.
I think you did too much, friend. I think you did too much. I think you did too much. I think you might know how to drink like too much of a fish. I think you know how to swallow them down in a way that's not healthy for you, your liver, or the people around you. Definitely not your kidneys. Definitely not your kidneys. I know that them suckers is in there screaming, we need water, please. Please give us electrolytes. Please give us a clean diet. Maybe cut out some red meat. Maybe you need to reduce your shot takes into like some light seltzers, like some Arbor Mist or something like that. Ooh, that sounds good. But you do not need to be sitting up here drinking like this. And you're a danger to be around, friend. I'm sorry, but you're the type of dangerous friend. You get drunk, you don't get to remembering what you're doing. Me and my man was just talking about this. There's nothing scarier than having a friend or a family member or just anybody around you who's close to you who can't remember what they do. They black out drunk. They black out drink because you don't know what you're saying. You don't know how you're treating me. And there's only so many times I'm going to be able to forgive you for MMA style fighting me. There's only so many times I'm going to be able to forgive you for talking cold to me. There's only so many times I'm going to be able to forgive you for you being in public and embarrassing me because you in the corner like, I was drinking everything I want to drink, bitch. And you're like, girl, you're talking to the lady who owns Vanderpump Rules. Are you crazy, girl? They ain't never gonna invite us to no clubs in Hollywood or LA ever again with you acting so dumb. Like, there's only so many times a healthy person, a sane person, a person who knows how to enjoy their drink within limits, within reason. There's only so much they're gonna be able to take before they're like, girl, I don't even wanna hang out with you no more, because whatever you got going on to where you need to drink like that, and then you need to forget that I'm your homegirl and that I'm really here for you, to where you start making on me, girl, there's something wrong with you. You need to go get that figured out. If you ain't trying to go to therapy, if you ain't trying to reduce your alcohol consumption, only so many times you can call me and be like, oh my God, I was so drunk. I don't even remember what I said. Bitch, I do. I got a black eye to prove it. And then I had to get you home because as the friend that I am, I want to make sure you still get home. But now I'm sitting up here looking at your ass like, this stupid bitch. Now I got to make sure she's okay, feed her and call her mom back because her mom been calling her all night. And I don't want Miss Deborah to be worried about shit, but now I got to deal with your ass. After I get you well, our friendship over. So you need to get you some help, girl. You need to get you some help, friend.
If you found out that your husband of 10 years cheated on you, so you're super heartbroken and you start going to therapy and you get the guts to tell him to leave the house, and all he replies to your long text message is okay, thank you. So you leave for the weekend so that he can come home and pack his things and leave because you don't want to see him, because you don't know how you're going to react. So when you come back on a Sunday, you see that all his things are still here. He comes back a few days later after you not talking to him or seeing him for almost a week, and he tells you, why would you pack all his things and put him in the garage? Because you had to do it yourself. So then you tell him, hey, well, you're not coming home, like, where are you staying? And he's still not admitting that he's been staying at that address that you still have from.
Hold up, she said, you know this because you still tracking him. She's like, I do not want to be with you. And where the fuck you at? Huh?
Very first time that he didn't come home. So then you try to find out who this person is, because at this point you already know that it must be a lady. So you finally found his truck around the area where he's been staying, and you start yelling his name, and the neighbor comes out and she tells you, well, it's not me, it must be somebody else. I've been seeing a black Jeep picking him up. So then you realize that,
Put a finger down if it leaves.
She didn't have any more of her story, which made me so sad because I was looking all up and through her TikTok. I'm gonna have to request it because that was scary and crazy. And she talked so smooth about it. Put a finger down if you were standing outside your man's apartment complex yelling his name only to find out that he didn't live at that apartment complex no more. He lived at the townhomes across from Walmart. So you drive down to the Walmart townhomes apartments and then you start yelling there. And then you set his car on fire just to realize that's not his car. That was actually his cousin's car that he was driving for the weekend. But you thought he had gotten a new car. So then you get back to your house and he's sitting there on the couch and you're like, why are you here? Because I just tried to blow up your apartment and your car. How'd you get here? Girl, I don't know anybody that been through that. Now, have I done some crazy stuff a time or two to some men's possessions or their homes or whatever? I think we all have. If we're being honest, if you in the neighborhood, I know your ass that did some stuff to where you like, girl, I have outgrown my toxic ways, girl. I don't even be toxic no more, girl. Not me. If you over here, I know you one of them, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you be like, dang, why I do all that stuff? She just said it way too smooth for me. She said it way too smooth. You see how the stories aren't even like relatable? Who gonna relate to some stuff like that in detail? In the other stories, who gonna relate to that to where they're like, I relate. Nobody.
One time in your lifetime, you were best friends with not one, but two different people in two different timelines of your life. That one was keeping a family secret about a murder, and then two actually became a murder. And it was so—
I put this one in here for my true crime girlies, because I know it's some of us in here who be watching true crime like, I can't believe they done went and got Miss Charlene like that. All she was doing was watching the neighborhood kids passing out candy. Now she done got robbed by two young thugs, and then she done lost it all because they thought they could find the candy money in the locker. Oh, this is crazy. We TV, Oxygen Network.
so gruesome that it shook your entire small town. There's no answers as to why or any events that led up to the killings, but it still remains unsolved till this day. Growing up, my grandma sheltered us, and honestly, there's a good reason for it.
My mama did that too.
I was never allowed to go to slumber parties, birthday parties, any type of after-school activities. I couldn't do it. I became best friends with a little girl in my elementary class, and my grandma started working as a bus monitor for the district that I was attending. Well, she became best friends with my best friend's dad because he worked at the school. So I was finally allowed to go over for slumber parties, even being able to sleep over on a school night. So her mom, keep in mind, would do my hair, dress me up nice and pretty, like I was taken care of. Well, fast forward, and I start going over there. Well, red flag number one, she was not allowed to come to our house. The little girl was not. Red flag number two, you walk into the master bedroom where the parents sleep, and there is naked pictures of girls, all different ages, all over their wall, and they have no explanation for it besides they like it. Well, they also had a closet that was locked at all times. Only the parents had access to it. So me and my best friend decided we're going to be nosy and we're going to try to get in it. Yeah, well, we got caught, and I was no longer allowed to come over there because I guess I was getting too close. Well, my grandma goes to a yard sale, and her and this lady are looking at books. But this one in particular was about murders in and around that were unsolved, and they noticed the name that was on it. It was my best friend's family who lived right across the street. So my grandma goes to the library one day, and she starts looking and getting curious, only to find out that my best friend's mom partaked in a murder with her siblings to kill their mother, aka my best friend's grandma. And it was so gruesome to where they not only killed her, they chopped her up, threw her body in a bag, disposed of all of the bags where her body parts were, so they never did find her. But because of the missing persons report, they went after all the siblings. The trial went on. All the siblings pleaded not guilty. They didn't have enough evidence against them, but then evidence started rising against my best friend's mom. Lo and behold, as soon as the warrant placed out for her arrest, she fled the country, got married, had some kids, and moved into our small town thinking everything was fine and acted like the perfect family. Well, when that secret got leashed, the police went after them, had a search warrant out for them, and the next day, my best friend was not at school, only to find out that she was no longer enrolled in our school. The police go to do a search warrant for their house. They left everything behind. All of their clothes, their shoes, their belongings, everything left, but they are gone. And they fled the country.
Again. Put a finger down. Woo! Stop right here. We gonna get to you, beautiful black woman of the Lord with them cute ass nails and that wonderful hair. It's gonna stop right here. So, Miss Ma'am, I'm gonna call you Miss Sarah Lee because you look like you're just so sweet, like honey. Miss Sarah Lee, you mean to tell me that you was homegirls with a girl whose mama was probably trafficking humans? Because where you get these pictures of naked people from? Secondly, where's the mama from? Is she from France? Is she from South Asia? Is she from Europe? Is she from... Where is she from for her to flee the country to the United States of America and go to a little rural town where you at? Not saying nothing about your little town, but you have a real strong accent, and I see that you in a big ass truck with that nice ass car seat in the back seat. That mean you probably drive up some dirt roads and stuff like y'all in a like little country town. No problem about that. No problem about that. But where is she from to make her flee to such a small place? Yeah. And then on top of that, she's such a pro at killing and leaving. She done told her man, listen, I done did this before. Somebody found us out. Now either you gonna come with me or I'm gonna kill you. Which one do you want to do? Because that's your only options. I'm gonna take the girl. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the girl. And I don't know what happened to the girl because they said, how a child vanish? How a child vanish unless that child was already... See, this is why we might start a true crime channel or something, because now I'm getting all deep. How did the child vanish if the child was enrolled under a name at the school unless the name was a fake name? You see what I'm saying? I digress. So what is the child's name now? That's my biggest question. Because the child's name must be a name that's either already seeming like it's deceased, or it was just a fake name altogether. They were in such like a rural county with rural schools. They didn't have to necessarily check documents, check immunization records, check social security, birth certificates. They're just like, all right, you say this is your kid? All right, we'll bring her on in here. We have school periods from 7 to 3. After that, you got to come get your girl, and that's about it. To me, that's what happened. But you know what? I ain't about to say nothing about it. Girl. You let me know what you think in the comments.
If when you were 18 you booked a trip for you and your best friend to go to LA, and you got to the airport, and when you got to the airport she wasn't there, so you started texting her and calling her and texting her and calling her, and she never responded, and you didn't talk to her again until about 8 to 9 months later, and she told you sorry. She had a lot of stuff going on in her life at the time, so that's why, you know, she didn't pretty much respond. So you pretty much took it to the chin, you let it go, and y'all just became back best friends like you know, nothing ever happened. And then when y'all were turning 21, you bought both of y'all $2,000 VIP tickets to Rolling Loud, and she missed the first day of Rolling Loud because you told her to come over your house the day before, but she didn't come over your house the day before for some reason, because she always does whatever the fuck she wants to do, and she made both of y'all miss the whole first day of Rolling Loud, again, the tickets that you paid $2,000 a piece for. And so then when you were moving from Detroit to Atlanta, and you asked her, hey, can you move to Atlanta with me and help me, you know, take care of my son? And I also feel like this will be a big opportunity for your modeling career because models are more prevalent in Atlanta than they are in Detroit. And she said yeah, and you told her that you would pay for everything, you just need her to help you watch your son while you were in school. And so she drove all the way to Atlanta with you just to say that she needed to go home 2 days later to go get her stuff, so you pay for her ticket to go home. And then when she gets there, she never comes back, and she stops answering you for 3 months, and then eventually you get to tell her like, damn, that was really fucked up, but you just let it go, and y'all become best friends back again. And then that next year, which is now 2023, you asked her, can she come to Atlanta to watch her son, because she's saying that she really misses him. So you had a business trip anyway, and you were going to take him, but you thought this was the perfect opportunity for them to bond. So you asked her, can she come to Atlanta for 3 days so that you can watch her son, which is also her godson, and you pay for her ticket, and you make a big dinner so that she wouldn't have to cook while you were gone. Only for her, on the day of the flight, you asking her like, do you got your stuff packed? Is you at the airport and all that? And she stopped answering all calls, all texts, all DMs. And basically she never comes. And then you end up watching her older sister's story, and you realize that she's in Houston on an entirely different trip, and that's why she stopped answering all your phone calls, all your text messages and everything. And so you put that behind you, and you become friends with her again, only for her a couple months later to volunteer to watch her son while you're going through a hard time, but then get mad when she has to watch him, even though that is her godson. And you never asked her, she offered. And one day she texts your son's dad at 2:00 in the morning and tells your son's dad that she has to bring him back, which was only a week later after he got dropped off. So she takes him back, but she never tells you, and you don't find out your son is there until you call his dad. And then when you try to check her about the situation and ask her why she texted your son dad at 2 o'clock in the morning, she completely stopped answering all calls, all texts, all DMs, and all voicemails. And then the next month was y'all birthday, which y'all birthday happened to be like 48 hours apart. So usually every single year y'all end up doing something together for y'all birthday since y'all known each other, which has just been like damn near 10 years. So you're thinking like, okay, this was some weird shit, but when she tell me happy birthday for my birthday, I'm gonna be able to smooth it over. So you wait for your birthday to come around. She never tells you happy birthday, but she watches your stories, your cousin's stories, everybody that you know stories that's posting you for your birthday, but still never tells you happy birthday. So you completely just block her on everything, even though you still end up seeing her because you still end up taking your son over her house because she lives with her mom and her mom wants to see your son, and they also have a bond, so you don't take that away from anybody. So you still go over there, and when you go over there and you do see her, she says nothing to you, you say nothing to her, until one day, it's like a year later, that she completely ghosted you and did not tell you happy birthday. You ask her like, is this gonna continue to go on? So she says no, and then y'all start having a whole conversation about everything that went on and why she even ghosted you, which was a dumb ass reason, but you still acknowledge the reason and you say that you want to move past it because you miss your best friend. And so the first time that y'all hang out, which was like 3 days ago, the first time that y'all hang out together since y'all have been back friends or trying to rebuild y'all friendship, she gets super drunk and her boyfriend tries to damn near put his hands on you. So he was damn near putting his hands on her, so I check him, and then he tries to put his hands on me. So the next day I go on TikTok and I tell a story time about it because this is my motherfucking life and this is what happened to me. And then she gets offended by the story time, so you go and you say, well, if you're offended by it, I did not mean to offend you, I did not mean to put your business out there, so I would delete it. So you delete the story time, even though you could have made like hundreds of dollars off of it. You say that's more important than the friendship, so you delete the story time, only for her to come back a day later and basically say that I only posted that on social media to hurt her feelings, and she feels like I don't like you, which you feel like is low-key her saying that I have secret animosity towards her, or that I'm envious of her or jealous of her. And so now you're just completely done with it because you feel like at the end of the day you always been more friends towards her than she was towards you. So it's just like, what the fuck ever.
Wow, that was a ride, wasn't it? That was a ride because it went from I was thinking to myself, oh, so they must have had a little extra going on. You know what I'm saying? They must have entertained the idea of being gal pals, if you know what I mean. Then I thought to myself, I wonder if there's an inappropriate exchange of energy and feelings going on, because there can be times, I know I've been in situations where my female friends, because I have a lot of masculine energy, my female friends will kind of attach to me like I'm their man, and I'll do for them if they need something or whatever. I'll help them, I'll do for them, and that they'll have an unhealthy attachment to me. And this was back in the day. I don't have friends like that anymore, but back in the day, my female friends would attach to me like that. So I'm wondering too if she got into that situation with her homegirl to where she's taking her out of town, she's making sure she has these lavish birthdays, but she's also there emotionally for her, and the best friend's energy was misplaced. Not saying that she's into women or anything like that. Like, this is my scenario, my second scenario. Not saying that she's into women or anything like that, but she just misplaced her energy into her homegirl, as opposed to trying to find a man to do that for her and being like, oh my gosh, I'm getting way too attached to my homegirl like this. Like, I'm getting mad because she has to go and do stuff with her man, or I'm getting mad because she gotta go to work and stuff like that. That's unhealthy. That's an unhealthy trait. The third scenario I'm thinking of is maybe she doesn't have family, and maybe she doesn't have a close relationship with her family. A key thing she said was that her mom wanted to see her son, so that's why she took her son over there. Then she keeps on giving her all these passes. Oh, you make us miss a day at Rolling Loud, I'll give you a pass. Oh, your boyfriend basically tried to put his hands on me, I'm gonna give you a pass. Like, she kept on giving these passes to her in order to continue to have the friendship, continue to have some sort of the relationship. So maybe she doesn't have a support system, and that's why she was doing that. All in all, girl, don't never let nobody treat you like this. If someone isn't reciprocating that energy towards you, leave them alone. That's the easiest rule of thumb when it comes to relationships that I have learned as a 34-year-old woman. If somebody is not giving me what I'm giving them, there's no point in me continuously giving, because I'm going to start to feel insecure. Am I not giving enough? Then I'm going to start to overgive. Then I start to feel depleted because I ain't even got no room for me no more, because I'm continually trying to give it to someone else in hopes that they'll give me that stuff back. Girl, don't do that to yourself. Be with people, and I'm talking about friends, family, associates, business partners. Be around people who can benefit you and you can benefit from them, and that's fair. That's fair. That ain't saying you a user or anything like that. That's you being fair.
If you married your high school sweetheart after 8 years of being together and 3 months into the marriage, he doesn't come home on Halloween weekend night, and you have like Ring doorbell footage, you have people saying that he wasn't where he said he was. Anyways, he fabricates this huge lie, and against all of contrary belief, you choose to believe him and follow through with the marriage. And then 5 months later, you are laying in bed with your husband watching a movie on a Friday night, and you get a text message from a person claiming they are a drug dealer who your husband owes money to. So you freak out and you show your husband the messages, and he tells you to delete and block the phone number, and then he leaves and he goes and takes care of it and pays them off. Well, you don't delete or block the phone number because this is really weird and it just makes you feel not good. And the next morning, you get another text message from this person who says your husband still owes them more money. At this point, your husband is literally standing in the corner of the room, and he says that this person is not a drug dealer, but they are in fact the girl he hooked up with on Halloween weekend, who has been blackmailing him for the past several months. And that's part of the reason he hasn't been able to pay his bills, is because he's been giving this girl all of his money. Anywho, so you tell him to leave, packs his stuff up, you move across the country, and now it's been a year and a half later, and you're—
Girl, let me tell you something. If a man is, if I get a text, if I was in this scenario, we about to reenact this scenario because this is stupid as hell. Let me be laying down. I look, hey, I'm a drug dealer. Hey, tell your boyfriend that if he does not give me my money, I'm going to kill the both of you, and I'm going to take the cat. Babe, somebody said that you was on drugs. You on drugs? Because I would already know in my mind. If this motherfucker put his pants on the wrong way, I know what drug he on. Because I'm going to know my man. I'm going to know him. I'm going to know him in such a way. I know if he's on drugs or if he's an alcoholic. And I'm going to know which drugs is the good ones to get for him so that he don't do nothing bad to himself, because, I'm responsible for him. And if he's an alcoholic, I'm going to make sure he gets the good stuff, because it's like, let's not just be drinking anything out here if you could afford it, sir. Okay? Because we're talking about your health. We're talking about your liver and everything like that. So let's not be out here just being all crazy. But as a woman, and then you was with this motherfucker for 8 years? You telling me you couldn't tell if he was on drugs or not? You couldn't tell if this was some bogus ass phone number? And especially if you asked him. You know your spouse or your significant other when you ask them a question and you can tell this motherfucker about to lie. Or this, oh, okay, we fabricating a little bit. Oh, okay, we're sugarcoating some stuff. Okay, if you've been with your partner that long, so as soon as it said, oh, it owe me this much money or this will happen, I'd have been like, so who is she? Who you dealing with? Who is she? What you pay for? What y'all be doing? And so he could be like, who's the we she? I don't know who the we she is, stupid. That's why I'm asking you. So who are you spending money on? Because I was wondering why you keep on being late on this light bill. Now I think I done found my damn answer. So go ahead, tell me now. You might as well tell me now, because I know now. Now for him to all of a sudden come out. All right. I ain't on drugs. Hold on, don't make me laugh, guys. I ain't on drugs. I'm in love with a stripper. When I go up there, it's like, am I getting chicken wings? Yeah, but do I want her to make me a chicken wing? Yeah, and that's where all my money's going, so I'm moving to Europe with her, and I'll never be back. Okay, well, get a divorce from me. No, I can't do that. Because if I get a divorce from you with this military money that I got coming in, it's going to take out my check, so I ain't going to get a divorce from you, but I will send you $100 every other week. Got you. That's exactly what happened.
Put a finger down. If you were married when you were very young, you had 2 amazing children with a guy who was just never going to be it for you, and so you divorced, and you end up finding who you thought was the love of your life, and you married him, and you had 2 more kids, so you have 4 kids now, and he decides he wants to go back to college, so you support that. Of course, you're in love with him, and you work not 1, not 2, but 3 jobs to support him while he goes to school, and he, while he's in school, decides to cheat on you with a 20-year-old, and so you can take a lot, but you can't take that. And so you decide to file for divorce in 2017, and the divorce drags on for 5 years in court, and it absolutely financially devastates you, and you decide you don't want this for your life. So you start a TikTok account, and you grow this TikTok account, and it's doing great, but you're posting, things are fine, and then you decide, well, my parents are not doing well. They live 2 states away. They're elderly, and I really want to be closer to them. My ex is crazy and stalking me, and I'm finding tracking devices on my car, and he has friends at work, and they're reporting about what you're doing, and anytime you call the police for his crazy behavior, they are high school friends with him because he grew up in the town that you live in. And so you decide to petition the court to move to 2 states away to help take care of your parents who you really love. And the court decides to give you custody of not both of your children with him, but just one. And so it's a tough decision, but you decide to move the 2 states away for everybody's peace of mind. You help your parents, you get them situated. Their health issues are there, but they're stable for the moment. And your child is settling in, and you purchased a fixer-upper because housing is expensive, and you were lucky to do that, and you're fixing it up yourself because you're crazy. And he's still awful to you. And then you get the news one day that your child from your first marriage has passed away. And it changes your whole life. And you can't do anything. You can't post on TikTok. You can't talk to people. You can't do anything. And so you're really desperately trying to get your life back together because you wonder what it's all for. And so after 6 months, you come back to TikTok because it was a good place for you before. But you can't post on that old account because that's not you anymore. So you decide to start a new account. And this new account will show you working on your life after complete and utter devastation because you refuse to go down.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to start off by saying, get your shit together, lady. Get your shit. Do you know how much I wish I had other children after my son died? I don't even know. I hope and I pray that I get the opportunity to be a mother again. I hope and I pray I get the opportunity to carry a child, to have a baby. I hope I get to have like 2 or 3 children, and to actually see a child through to adulthood. If I had kids still alive after losing my child, would I be sad? Sure, I would be sad. But there's a lot of shit that I wouldn't let break me from that point on. Everything that she sat up there and explained, and I have a real issue with weak ass women. Everything she sat up there and explained, you were making decisions to sleep with these men, and you was making decisions to move on from them. You were making decisions to put yourself in financial strain. You can't tell me there don't be red flags in relationships. You can't tell me that. 1 kid, accident. 2 kids, okay. Now you get to 3, 4. Girl, you know how to look at the man and say that he ain't the man for you or he is the man for you, but you keep on choosing busters. You choose toxic love. And a person who chooses toxic love after they've recognized the cycle, after they've come to the conclusion, oh, this man isn't nice to me. If you continue to stay in that cycle, girl, I ain't got no sympathy for you. I ain't got no sympathy for you because I done been through toxic relationships before, and I said to myself, hell no, I'm liable to go to jail. If I stay here with this man who has treated me like this, I'm liable to go to prison because the next time he haul off and talk to me crazy or put hands on me when I'm laying next to him, we about to go to bed. Baby, I done already worked out a plan for my kids to go with my sister. I already know where I'm going to. I'm about to murder you and be happy. And I'm going to do it. Because who we playing with? I'm too old, I'm too grown to be sitting up here like, I can't believe you're doing this to me again. I can't believe my life is so hard. Girl, no. Stop it up.
Figured out that you waited almost 4 years to sleep with your husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh.
And then on your wedding night, you booked the most romantic, just amazing hotel ever. You were so excited and just like spend the night of your wedding there, and you had the most amazing wedding, best night ever. It was like the most fun, greatest night of your life, and you got in the car and you were so ready to go to your hotel and just have a great night. But then you get to your hotel and you realize it's a little like better, and there's no one at the front desk, and you're a kid from South Florida, and every hotel, and you don't ever go to small cities, and every hotel you've ever stayed in just has people at the front desk, so you would never think about having to figure out what to do before you get to the hotel, because you've always had people at the front desk at every hotel you've ever been to in your entire life. But when you get there, you can't figure out how to get to your room. There's no one's answering the phone number on the door. There's no confirmation in your email. There's nothing. So you are stranded on your wedding night after your wedding in a middle of nowhere town in Dahlonega, Georgia. Again, Dahlonega, Georgia. Where the heck is that? I don't even know still. And there's no other hotels. Nothing's open. You call every single hotel in a 50-mile radius, and no one has a room. So then your phones die. And you're considering possibly going back to the Airbnb where all your friends are, but again, you waited 4 years for this night. You're not doing that. So then you look on Airbnb and book an Airbnb, and you book an Airbnb, and then you realize that the Airbnb you booked, like, you can't book it the same night. So you got charged $300 on your card for an Airbnb you can't even get into. And then you book another Airbnb, and then oh wait, no, actually I booked the Airbnb. You booked the Airbnb before.
Get the store together.
You booked the Airbnb when you have like 5% left, and then your phones die. And then you go to Walgreens, and you buy crappy chargers, and you plug them into your car, and they take forever to get your phones to turn on. And then you finally get into the Airbnb, and it's 1 in the morning, and you're in the crappiest, worst Airbnb you've ever stayed in, and it's just not a vibe. And you were supposed to be in a gorgeous honeymoon suite that you paid $450 for, that had a jacuzzi and rose petals and wine and a fireplace inside, and it was supposed to be that kind of night. But no, you ended up in a small, tiny, little, cold, random Airbnb at 1 in the morning with someone you waited 4 years with, and yeah, put a finger down if that was you.
Girl, so you still got dick. Why are you out here crying? Why are you out here complaining? I thought this story was about to end with, it was so horrible. Like the Martin scene where he was at that horrible vacation retreat and him and Pam had to beat up that beaver, squirrel, muskrat thingy. Girl, I thought you was about to say something like that happened, but none of that happened. So you just had to spend some extra money. So that's why your story was all over the place at the end. Because I'm like, girl, what happened? What's the bad thing? You just had to be in a crappy hotel to have sex. Girl, I could think of worse situations. I could think of worse.
Oh yeah, and then figured out if you find the confirmation text in your text messages about a year later with your room number saying that the key was inside, and all you had to do was go to this room and the door was unlocked.
Put a finger down if 1 year ago you posted a picture of your boyfriend on your Instagram story for National Boyfriend Day, and he ends up getting really, really mad at you for it, and you don't understand why he's mad, but then you find out that his side chick saw the picture on your story and she got mad at him, so then he got mad at you, and he tells you that he mentally had broken up with you 3 months prior, but he didn't tell you this or act any differently or move out of the house or give any indication at all that you guys were no longer in a relationship. So then you find out that he had been dating this girl for months and cheating on you, and this is how he ends up actually breaking up with you and telling you that you guys are not together.
Okay, so several things here. You need to get a black mama voice in you and get that cat down off that damn shower. Get off this damn shower, because if there's one thing I'll know, if you in there giving your cat a bath and stuff like that all the time and you keeping them clean, there ain't no reason for you to be up and around this water. Now you about to be walking around with wet paws around my damn house, and I ain't Swiffer wet jet the floors yet. So that means you're gonna have dirty ass paws inside my house, and you gonna keep on wanting to hop on the furniture and everything like that. Get your ass down off this shower rod right now. And she looking in the mirror, so I know she see him up there being like, it's buggy nice. I know you see him up there. Tell him get his big ass on down. Shoot. Another thing, always follow that intuition. Always follow that intuition. I bet your intuition told you there was something going on and you were like, oh, I don't want to say nothing. But anytime you follow that intuition, there's so many different ways that you could bring it. Now, I used to bring it with fire. I used to be like, you were cheating on me, weren't you? I know that your stupid ass was, because when I was asleep, when my eyes were closed and my brain seemed like it was supposed to shut down, I had a dream that you were cheating on me with some bitch at the beauty supply store who don't even got braids like me. I mean, they were pretty cute because I did like the red inside of them. So I was like, oh, that's kind of a cute little red black combo on you, girl. Kind of fit your skin too. But you wasn't supposed to agree. You wasn't supposed to be like, oh yeah, I like it too, and then start sleeping with her, because that's what I seen in my mind's eye. So tell me the truth. You've been cheating, ain't it? That's how I used to approach things. But then I've gotten to a more mature age, and I'm like, hey babe, so Tell me if I'm crazy or not. But I had a dream that you was cheating on me with the girl at the beauty supply. Am I tripping? And if you're like, no, if he's like, yeah, you are tripping, why would I talk to the girl at the beauty supply store? I'd be like, okay, yeah, it's probably my period coming. That's where I'm at now. But at least I have addressed the little feeling that I feel in my soul or in my spirit or from my dream that says, oh, he might be stepping out. And it reminds him, I'ma always know. I'ma always know. So you better not do it. Because the Lord, he gonna tell me. So I'ma always know.
Put a finger down if your boyfriend of 4 years has been posting his nudes on Reddit and using Reddit to meet and hook up with single and married women.
Girl, what?
And then
hold up. Okay. Let me catch my breath. She said he was posting his nudes on Reddit. And you know what automatically popped into my mind? If he wanted to, he would. Take that how you want.
It was time for y'all to move to the East Coast for y'all's travel nurse assignment. He had already lined up the person that he'd be sleeping with the 6 months that he was there, literally a month before we even got there. And while he's there, he's going by a completely different name and living a completely different life. Mind you, this woman is twice his age with multiple kids, and they would go to the movies together, they would go to the zoo, you name it. Flash forward, y'all moved back to DFW and you signed your second apartment lease with him because you had no suspicions, you couldn't detect any red flags, but then you were also on an assignment 2 states away. So,
what can you do?
Now, y'all finally settled into your new apartment together, and he begins to fly her out here while you are at work for under 12-hour shifts at the hospital. He'd fly her out here for the day. And you still wouldn't know because he would turn off his location services and
that's how you would know.
Disassemble the Ring doorbell.
That's for sure.
That it needed charging. And while all this is going on, he would continue to still post in Reddit searching for more people to hook up with, and even put out an ISO for someone to come watch and record the two of them while I was at work. Flash forward literally 2 days, we're now on our annual ski trip, and these random anonymous Instagram accounts were created to contact me and provide me with proofs and links of their sex tapes that they had posted all over Reddit, all over the internet. Now, you also got access to his Google Drive that he had to pay to upgrade to have 100 gigabytes of storage to keep all of this content, videos, photos, you name it. And after all this, he still continues to lie and claim that he loves you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because there were signs in that story. And I wish I was your friend. I forgot her name, or else I should have read her name off of here so I could talk to her like my homegirl. Girl, stop sitting up here acting like you so stupid. I'd have bopped her in the forehead one good time, handed her a glass of wine, probably a shot of tequila. Said, my bad. I didn't mean to put my hands on you like that. I really didn't. I shouldn't have did that to you. But the number one thing would have been him turning off that location services. I would have been like, why are you turning off your location services? And he's like, oh, I didn't even notice I did. So what happens if you dead? How am I find you? I mean, since we just turning off location services, I'm all gonna find you. Then, oh, the ring alarm is disassembled? What? Why ain't the ring alarm on no more? Oh, it had to be on the charger. That'd be crazy if I came in here shooting like a motherfucker, wouldn't it? Because who would know? Who would know? Who would know? That'd have been my second red flag. Then you at work for 12 hours, girl. When you start getting that feeling, you like, I might be at work for 12 hours, but you know what? I got a little bit of PTO. I'm going to take me a 2-hour lunch break, circle around that damn house. Find that car in the neighborhood, at the neighborhood Applebee's or Chili's or something like that. Yeah. Just because the man is out here cheating does not mean that you have to mess up your lifestyle by catching him. No. See, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm about to just go up to this job. He about to come into that. Just use that good old PTO, paid time off. That means you do with your time off what you want to do with your time off. You go, you find him, and you figure out, you put the math together and the science together and the biology, and you kick him out. It's that simple. There were so many different, you didn't have to stay with him that long. You chose to stay with him that long. You chose to, what you mean he on Reddit sites selling his ass for cash? I don't even know Reddit. I ain't read Reddit. I ain't seen Reddit. I ain't been around Reddit. I ain't gonna look at Reddit. That's your fault. You should. I wish my man was doing anything on Reddit, on a public forum like that, on Craigslist, on Backpage. Girl, me and my homegirls would assemble so quickly and pull all these files like the motherfucking FBI, put up a PowerPoint presentation, be like, and what are you doing? And what are you doing with user 923_trolls or trolls? What you doing? Oh, you ain't doing nothing. So why is this message up here? Girl, please.
Put a finger down if one day you woke up with the most extreme pain in your butthole. It literally felt like someone left an anal bead in there overnight. Not that I've ever had one, but if I did, I can just imagine that that's what it would feel like.
Okay.
And then as the day went on, you realized like, wow, I can barely sit. I can barely walk. This pain is getting super severe. I think there's something going on. I think I might have to take a really big poo. So you went to the bathroom to take that really big poo. And while you were on the toilet, you realized, oh my God, it hurts so much to poo. And when you finally did, you looked in the toilet and there was so much blood. It looked like someone had been murdered in the toilet bowl. So you obviously, you know, alarm bells started going off and you were like, wow, this is not good. Let me call my doctor. And you called up your family doctor and you were like, Doc, I just saw so much blood in my poo. I am scared for my life. What do I do? And he said, you're good. You just got anal fissures and hemorrhoids. Here's a cream. So you used that cream for so long and it never got better. And you eventually got so sick and, you know, the pain got so severe that you couldn't leave your bed for weeks, months. Damn. And then you ended up in the hospital with an abscess, like infection in your butthole the size of a fucking tennis ball. And so they drained it in one surgery and they were like, you're fine, you should go home. And then immediately within an hour of going home, you realized, I'm not even feeling better at all, I'm feeling actually worse. So you went back to the hospital, spent about 6 months in the hospital, 14 surgeries later, and you had to get your butthole removed because you actually ended up having perianal Crohn's.
I'm gonna start by saying I don't think you should have said this on the internet. I don't think you should have said this on the internet, and I shouldn't even say anything about this on the internet. But she put it on there first. Fair game. You know what I'm saying? Because what if you get a little bitty who's like really into like, you know, slobbing everything down there? You don't want them to know that you done got your asshole removed. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to know that. You want them to be like, wow, it is so smooth back here. You're like, you know, that's what waxing and laser treatments do. That's what they do, you know? And he like, okay, I want to try something different. No, we ain't trying nothing different. But you know, that's what they do back there. So have your fun. Get you some. That's how you could have played it. But I appreciate your honesty, and judging by this look that I see on you right now, you might not swing for men. You might not. So, you know, let me hush the noise. You feel me? But I'm glad that you got the help that you needed and stuff like that. Didn't I tell y'all that none of these stories seem like they was part of the put a finger down? And also, this ain't in no type of order.
Okay, grab your water and let me tell you how I accidentally ruined a marriage. So I was working at K Jewelers while getting my master's degree. And the policy there is that everyone who comes inside of the store and they need to get their ring cleaned or inspected, we have to look up their account to log the inspection, right? Hear that. I was following company policy. Hear that. This man and his wife come inside of the store. She comes straight up to me and she's like, I'm here to get my ring inspected. I'm like, cool. I know how to do that. Let me hook you up, girl. I grab my tablet and I'm like, who is the ring under? Whose name? And she's like, oh, my husband's name. So she tells me her husband's name, his phone number. Mr. Man back there looking at the watches. He not paying attention to nothing. Okay. So I enter husband name, phone number. Cool. After I do that, 2 rings pop up and they look kind of similar. Okay. So it wasn't like, it was like one ring that was like a chocolate diamond and the other ring that was like a regular diamond. It was 2 cluster rings. And if you know about cluster rings, they kind of all look the same. No tea, no shade. Right. So I'm like, ma'am, is it the ring from 2012 or 2009? She goes, 2009. So now I'm officially scared of this woman because I know what's up. Right. I know what's tea. I can see the pieces coming together. Yep. She goes, hand me the tablet. And I go, no problem. Because who am I to stand in the way of a woman scorned? Yeah. So I go to the ring cleaning station. And I'm cleaning the ring. And you ever been at somebody's house? You ever been at your friend's house while they get in trouble? And all you can hear is their mama yelling at them in the background. And you just sitting in their room like this. That was me. So I'm sitting there inspecting the ring. And all I hear is, who was that ring for? Who was in 2009? You was married? You got another wife? And I'm like, wait. Yo, homie had 2 wives.
Dang.
2 wives. I get done inspecting her ring. I walk back over to her and I'm like, here goes your ring. This man looks me in my face and goes, nice job, stupid. Because what you're not gonna do is blame me for the fact that you decided to 2-time at K Jewelers. Okay, you got bigger fish to fry, my friend. The woman has herself a little shopping spree. She gets a necklace, a watch, and a little tennis bracelet for her troubles.
No, that's great.
And they go on about their day. And that was the last inspection I did. Water's done.
Listen, if this video has taught us anything, it's that we all go through problems in this life. We ain't nothing perfect. Everybody messes up. Everybody drinks a little too much. Everybody fights a little too much. Everybody gets 2 wives. Everybody doesn't listen to their instincts. Some people get their assholes removed. The world is the world. What I want you to do, I want you to have a good rest of your day. I want you to like the video. I want you to comment your thoughts down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share it with your friend, because you never know who needs to be entertained on any day of the week. This is a good topic for any time, girl. If you're doing laundry in the future and you think you need something, I just want to laugh at some people's stories that ain't got nothing to do with me. Bookmark this. Replay it. It's gonna make you laugh again, okay? Now, I have been the Just Casey brand. I'm so glad that y'all tuned in. I'm always so thankful whenever you guys stop by, whenever y'all comment. I'm really, really, really thankful for the neighborhood and the community that we're building. So thank y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.